Hey everybody, today we are looking at how to hold the pick in your right hand. So I'm just going to start out with a nice relaxed hand there. Curve in these 3 fingers. Curve that finger right about there. I don't want it to be inside like that because that, again, I begin to feel tension inside my finger if I've bent it that far. So I just want it at a sort of curved in spot that's relaxed, be that out here or here. Somewhere in there is just fine. And then what's going to happen after I put the pick in is I'm just literally putting my thumb down. I'm not really going to pinch it between there. I'm just kind of letting my thumb down. So again, take my pick, my hand just like that. Put it right about there. And let that sit down. Now I might rotate that pick a little bit. So it's just like that. And again, the idea is that you want to be holding that pick, maybe like you're holding a baby bird. You don't want to let it go, but you don't want to squeeze it. And that way, that pick should be in your hand tight enough that when you play, it's not falling out of your hand, but basically not any tighter than that, right? And that's a fine point. I've seen videos where Mike Marshall said that he plays sometimes and this pick falls out of his hand because he's riding that fine line between, holding that pick, but barely holding that pick. Now, in terms of angle, I'll try to lift this up a little bit. When I play, try to rotate that view, my pick is about going in about that deep. If you can see that tip. And that's about how deep I'm going. Barely see if I turn the pick a little bit, I might be able to get the light to glint off of it. That's about the depth that pick is gone beyond those strings. There's a good shot right there. Not a whole lot. And in this position, the pick is slightly angling down. And when I pick up, it's slightly angling back towards me. But again, the idea is to keep that right hand nice and relaxed. Hand, curl your hand in, put that finger in, slide that pick in, set down that thumb. Now, one thing about picking it for me is when I pick, it's relaxed enough that the pick sometimes actually rotates like that way in my hand. If you can get the glint of the light, we can see it. Let me try again. So the pick sometimes rotates like this through my hand, unfortunately. So if I'm playing maybe a fiddle tune and I'm playing it on repeat, sometimes I literally got to do what I just did there. I just kind of spin my pick because it ends up being sort of at a halfway point like this. And I need to keep that tip up there. So it's one of the reasons that when I play with a pick that's got 3 even sides on it, like this blue chip 5.5. See how it's got 3 evenly beveled tips on it? That way, as that pick rotates in my hand, if I'm playing with a pick that has a sharp point, what's going to end up happening is I don't have that freedom for that pick to rotate how it kind of naturally does in my hand, because when it rotates, I'm eventually going to get a sharp pointy pick end, and all of a sudden, I'm going to get a different tone on my instrument. So I like an even pick for that reason. So again, I hope that's helpful for your right hand. Again, think very relaxed, like you're casting a fishing rod a little bit there with that pick in there, like you're holding a baby bird. And if these fingers, some people you'll see them kind of hold their hand out like that and play like this. I do that sometimes. These fingers I just want them out of the way. I don't care to plant that on my instrument. I think that causes some kind of rotation like this. Some people, you'll see that they do that. I prefer that sort of long-term, very fluid motion between my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, and my hand. And then sometimes, if I'm playing really up-tempo and I'm struggling, you'll see me sometimes sort of use my fingers to kind of move the pick like that. And again, I only do that when I'm playing at tempos that I'm really struggling, keeping my hand you know, doing this motion. Yeah, and there's another video I've got out there where I talk about some volume for your instrument and tracking, where I'm sort of playing like the same angle, and my arm is sort of moving like this as I'm playing different notes. So if I'm playing the low chorus, my arm's up a little bit, and as I move across to mandolin, even though my wrist motion is maintaining that motion, I'm subtly moving my arm up and across the mandolin, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I hope that video was helpful on how to hold your pick with your right hand. Please check out my Patreon, which is patreon.com/MyBluegrassRomance for a whole bunch of mandolin fun stuff. Thanks.